Yo, dude.
Ricardo, what's up, dude?
Damn, thanks for the sick introduction.
Dude, I am so psyched, man. This has been like a year and a half,
Yeah,
two
like a
years
year
in the
almost.
making.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
God
Haven't
damn
done
it.
it.
Oh man, I absolutely, I'm so happy to be able to have the opportunity, dude. I really, really appreciate it. I've got to put it out there, man. You know, like from us meeting through CDOs, I've been a huge fan, and I've always, anytime I've been around to be able to see you guys live, I've got to check out Absolute Truth yet because you guys are fucking sick, of course, too. But
Thank you, dude. Yeah.
CDOs, man. That's my
Yeah.
dogs. That's my boys right there.
Yeah.
All right, dude. So, as I mentioned and kind of mentioned in the, the preface to this, I love for the opportunity of, of hearing stories and hearing, kind of where you got into this. But more or less, even before heavier music, what are your earlier interests or first interests that, you found music catching your ear and, you having your initial interest in music?
Oh man, dude, it's funny. I still kind of like remember. It's like I have four other brothers, and actually, one of my brothers plays guitar in CDOs, and his
Yep.
name's Robert. So,
Yep.
yeah, dude, like it's kind of funny. Like, my uncle had like this old VHS, and it had like fucking Kiss on it, and it was it was fucking rock and roll all night. And I remember like just being as kids, like like we were just young. I don't know why we just watched it all the time, and that was kind of like our first like introduction, I guess, like into music. Looking back, it's like, but yeah, then kind of from there and like yeah, I guess earlier just always kind of listen to whatever my older brother was listening to,
Yeah, yeah.
like a lot of Ramones, like Nirvana and stuff like that. So
Sick. It's awesome.
yeah.
Did you guys ever, grow up a little and get a little older and like dress up as them as for Halloween or anything like that?
No, no, not that bad.
Okay. I was gonna say that'd be pretty ripping,
Yeah,
especially for having a couple, having a couple of the members being able to toss
yeah,
some
no,
paint
yeah.
on. So where do you find, I mean, as far as like having those initial interests, was it, buddies in school, or how did that work for you as far as, kind of branching out and finding your own like tastes from, something like Kiss, where it's like, yeah, this is kind of cool, but it's a little silly.
Damn, I don't know. I guess like I've always just kind of, as a kid, just kind of always wanted to be my own. Didn't like kind of following what everybody else was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that kind of helped a lot, and just kind of always like wanting to stand out like in my own
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
that definitely was like a big part of it. So
I think
yeah,
there's always something too that resonates out of like punk and hardcore and just those types of
definitely, yeah,
things where it's like
yeah.
it kind of gives like that sense of community, even though it's like you're not directly involved or it might not be, right there. Did you have like local like music shops and different things that maybe could have introduced you to some different stuff?
Actually, man, I wish I did, but I can't really say like any local music shops. Like, I mean, there wasn't really too much around, like at least for us, or like we just couldn't really like afford like music stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I guess another way, like I don't know, it's like kind of off topic, but not really, is like through skateboarding too. I discovered a lot of music. So like
Okay.
punk,
So,
like skateboarding goes hand in hand with like punk music and hip hop. So you know.
totally. And some of like the skate videos too.
Oh, dude, definitely, yeah, yeah,
That was like a
yeah,
way even for me kind of picking up on some of the cats and like going even back with like RZA and kind of going and
yeah,
like
dude, for
checking
sure.
out
Like all
different
that
things
early
in hip
Wu-Tang
hop.
shit, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, you hear different things on the radio or have like different friends that are all about like, Dr. Dre or whatever. But it was like,
Yeah,
then you like some of these like, like you mentioned, some of these skate or like even bike videos, that they would have.
uh,
It's like, oh shit, I don't know what this
yeah,
is.
dude.
Like,
Yeah,
try and find a burnt copy or something.
yeah, yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah.
Now, where like as far as you guys getting involved, were you the first as far as kind of trying to pick up an instrument, or did something like in band in
Oh
school come about,
no,
or
dude. So like, yeah, my brother, like, I think I can't recall how old he was, but definitely like, he started playing guitar, and right away, like, I think I almost picked up the bass for some reason. I
okay,
don't know, like, I just almost, I wanted to do bass, but then like, yeah, it goes back to like me getting my first drum kit, and I got to thank my grandpa for it. It's like I
sick.
just like, hey, want to play drums, so took me to Target. I got a Target kit. I'll never forget. I have a few pieces of it. I wish I would have kept it all.
Oh
yeah, dude,
man.
it's like from there, me and my brother is like, I still kind of make fun of him because like the way he taught me was kind of just yelled like 1, 2, 3, 4 at me, and then it's kind of just took off from there, dude. Like covering like again like a lot of Ramones and like Nirvana. That's that, and that was like the like when we first went like what like I was first learning to play. And then I remember like I think what kind of makes me be like a heavy hitter as well is like having to mute the drum kit because we were playing in a basement or playing in the house and I didn't want to fucking bother everybody. So like
Oh
dude, like
yeah.
that's the thing with me, dude. Like I can't like if I get behind a kit, I just can't hit like soft. I just like want to beat the shit out of it. I don't know why. So yeah.
That is funny. Holy shit, dude! I like before I, my as far as being able to afford a drum kit, or that's like another thing too. That's kind of insane when you bring up instruments or things, where it's like guitar, it's a little more accessible, but like there's a certain like point that you realize with drums where it's like, holy shit, what did I
Dude,
do?
yeah.
Just out of the fact of like how expensive everything
Yeah,
is.
yeah, for sure. And it's like, dude, and then you start like playing bigger gigs and shit, and then you start playing like fucking better equipment, and you can't go back to the other, because you hear the difference. Like, fuck, dude, now you're kind of you put yourself in that shit. So, you know, from one job to another, how fucking how that shit is. So, yeah, dude.
There's been times too where like I will go and break down like somebody else's hardware or like
Yeah,
be like setting up certain things. I'm like, why the fuck is this so heavy, dude? I'm like, oh, it's like legit.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, for
I
sure, dude. Yeah,
this is the
yeah,
struggle I'm supposed to be having.
yeah, yeah, dude.
When and it's funny that you mentioned as far as having everything muted and playing softer. Like before I ever got to play drums, I just had a pair of drumsticks for the
Yeah,
longest
yeah,
time, and I would play on my bed. Like I would just like play on pillows or the mattress, and that was just how I kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
got
for sure.
along with like time too. So, when you had that, like you mentioned Ramones, where it was a lot of punk stuff that was kind of that earlier influence as
Dude, yeah,
far as.
definitely. Like, yeah, I will always say like me and my brother were mostly like more on the punk side of everything. Like when it comes to like Si Dios, like we got like a little mix of everything, like kind of thrashy,
Mhm.
and I think that just kind of correlates with like, Chris being a very metal guitarist and then me and my brother just being like really fast and like, dude, it took me a long time to like, and it took me a long time to learn how to play slow because all I wanted to do was like fucking run through the set, play like everything like 2 minute songs and shit. But then like kind of taking a step back and like having people like, dude, if you like let it breathe, you'll fucking hear the difference. Like you're right. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
totally. Yeah, and that's something too that I have to commend you too is like every time I've seen you, it's never felt rushed. It's never felt like slow. Like I mean, there's definitely kind of a internal metronome that's going on where like there's certain times that I almost had to kind of like click or make like a sound in my head or like
yeah,
chew
for sure.
gum and try to do it at like a certain
Dude,
pace
and
because I'm like,
that
oh wait,
sounds
I'm
like
too
fucking
fast.
confusing as fuck. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't be able to do that shit. So yeah.
I mean, like it's just kind of little like tricks where I don't think maybe I'm like actually doing it, but I try to think just because I'm like, okay, is this going way too fast? Because it's
Yeah.
something with like punk where every once in a while where you watch back to a gig and you're like, holy fuck, like I feel bad for the bassist because I look over and
Yeah, yeah,
motherfucker's
dude. Yeah,
fingers are off, I'm like,
yeah. Yeah. Holy shit.
so you mentioned like as far as earlier earlier interests in different things like that. Some of your favorite albums, what kind of comes as far as when maybe some thrash or maybe some metal comes along? What are some of your favorites today even?
For sure. Like Wonder, fucking Kill 'Em All, Metallica, obviously. That was like fucking, that was sick. I remember covering a lot of that shit, with
Okay.
my brother. And then, yeah, we actually got into like, yeah, I remember there was a time where we were kind of like playing like more metal shit. And like, dude, I would like fucking grab like, because at this point, like there was like another jump kit in the house. So I would like fucking Frankenstein and just try to have like the biggest jump kit for no reason. It sounded like shit, but yeah, yeah. Then like, I think it was later when I'm actually like, all right, I don't want all these drum kits. I want to like strip it down because I felt like I was kind of cheating myself. 'Cause, like, yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Just like the bare minimum. I'm trying to do that shit. So
I think it's like always cool up until the point of where you're like thinking about moving it.
oh hell
And
yeah,
that's the
dude. Oh my
realization where
god,
you're
could you
like,
imagine?
this.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I mean, like now, uh, where do you end up getting introduced as far as live music? Like, where do you end up getting? Maybe it's like a smaller local gig or a big bill show.
All right, so yeah, like we had this. Me and my brother again. We had like we were playing shows with our other good friend. His name was also Chris, but like yeah, we just played like small local shows and stuff. But like one place, I mean, man, if you're from Chicago, you'll know it is like a Jurassic Park. It
Oh
was
yeah,
like
yeah, okay.
I like when people talk about it because like back then you didn't think too much of it, but it was a sketchy ass place, man. It was fun as hell. It was like dangerous, but it is, you know, it was like it was a time and place, you know. So yeah, that was like definitely. I remember seeing a lot of fucking bands there. I remember seeing Armada there, Decline, and stuff like, you know, and just like
Damn.
it's just like, man, yeah, that's where like my introduction for all that was, you know.
So,
So
now, now, I mean, your like introduction to shows was playing too, or had you like gone to a couple as far as with your brothers?
no, actually no. Like again, like didn't really get to go to much shows as a kid, you know.
Okay.
So
All right. You know, and I mean, I think it's cool either way. You know, I mean,
yeah,
there was different times where like local stuff wasn't so much a thing for me. I had the opportunity every once in a while, as far as like a bigger concert would go through, and maybe try to like save up if there was like an allowance or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
for
a,
sure.
you know, but like local shows, there was different things that were around here too. But it's funny that you mentioned Jurassic Park, because that's like every time that people, like someone from the area will
Yeah,
mention
yeah,
that, they're like, man,
dude.
it was fucking it was sketchy.
Yeah, it's sketchy as fuck, dude, but it was fun, man. Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah.
Whereabouts was that?
It was on the south side. I think it was on. I don't remember. It was like on Kedzie and 25th. I don't remember the address, but yeah, it was definitely on the south side of
Oh
Chicago.
man,
So
I love that.
yeah.
Now, do you have anything through the years come to mind as far as music videos? This was always something that was kind of fun. You know, I feel like if you're like in your 30s or so, kind of our era, you know, from digging into stuff. Anything come to mind?
Mm, shit, not really, dude.
No. Okay.
No, no,
All right.
not at the top. If it comes, I'll let you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. What? So you have, you know, this initial experience as far as bands. You know, bring us back to that first band, and were you playing drums for that then?
Yeah, I always play drums, dude. Yeah,
Okay, all right. What
yeah. Like I said,
and
I think I tried bass and tried guitar. It's not my thing. So just leave that, you know. So
no, what was this band, and you know, what was that, you know, the kind of influence for that when you're first kind of breaking into playing with other guys?
Uh, well, definitely the first one was still kind of learning, you know, still like a lot of covers and shit, you know.
Hmm.
Then eventually like writing, you know, like our own stuff, and then that was fun for a while. And then I guess I wanted to talk about like this band we had started, Shots Fired, because I guess that was like I
Okay.
wanted like listening to all that stuff now is kind of like when I guess I first started like playing like hardcore, I guess,
Hmm.
and not even realizing it, you know, because like for the longest I didn't know what like hardcore was. I just thought it was like hardcore punk, and all the like the genres that kind of confused me, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
like yeah,
for sure.
yeah, so like yeah, I just remember like with this band like you know like wanting to cover like Cro-Mag's Sign of the Times. I'm like I never heard that before, so that was kind of like an introduction to it. I'm like holy shit, okay, you know. So yeah, yeah, definitely that was like me getting into hardcore without realizing it, you know. So and it
It,
was still me playing really fucking fast. So yeah,
okay. I mean, like it's funny that you mentioned that too, because I feel like when I think back to earlier hardcore and it being like things like, you know, Sick of It All, or even like the
yeah,
New York scene, or like when I was in, I feel like it was in middle school. I don't know if I was in, I was in school anyway, and I remember somebody had like a Charles Bronson button, and
oh,
I'm like, what the
okay,
fuck is this? And
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
started playing, and it's just like, but like thinking back at it now, it's like, oh, it's hardcore. Like
Uh-huh.
maybe it's a little bit of a different kind of like offshoot of it, but it's like, oh,
Yeah, yeah, for
but
sure.
you're not really thinking of those types
Yeah,
of
yeah,
things. You know, it's
yeah,
just kind of like, oh, it's heavy and fast and seems fun.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, and you had mentioned too, uh, as far as straight edge, and this kind of being something that was like a dawning and you know, kind of come full circle too. Was this something with this initial band?
Uh, well, man, not really. I mean, with that band, I mean, like, I drank a lot when I was younger. You know, I was like a heavy drinker. Got like really bad, and you know, I just got like, you know, I got kicked out of that band, which was like, you know, it all needed to happen anyways.
Sure.
Uh, yeah, so like, you know, after that band, I really didn't do much with music afterwards. I just kind of like got into my own lane, just kind of, you know, I had to get sober and stuff, you
Hmm.
know, and like, it was kind of a lie to myself too, where like, I'm like, man, I don't want to like play shows. I felt like I had to drink for some reason, you know,
Oh,
which
okay.
isn't the case, obviously, you know.
Right.
So, but yeah, so like, so really didn't do anything else after that band, Shots Fired. And then so like years later, like I just getting that itch again, and it just goes to me like starting Si Dios with Chris, So, and it was kind of like a thing when we started. I wanted it like the next project I wanted to do, I wanted to come like full force with it, So
Sure.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. And like, now when did CDOs start?
oh man, we started. I want to say like right before COVID hit, dude. It sucked.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
shit. Wow.
yeah. I think like a year or like I can't remember, but I remember like when we released our first demo, we couldn't do anything because like shows weren't happening.
Oh,
So yeah,
shit.
yeah, dude.
Holy
That's why
shit.
it seems like
That's
so long. But yeah,
insane.
dude. Yeah.
I was trying to think of, because I know like the first time that you guys played Sweatfest, that
Hmm.
was like an earlier memory, but I feel like I had heard of you guys through like Chicago friends and different people kind of buzzing around and like,
Yeah.
hey man, like check out this, and it's a really like almost not metalcore, but it had like a little bit more of like a metal feel and still hardcore
Yeah, for sure.
thrashiness to it. But right before COVID,
Yeah,
damn,
yeah,
that's
dude.
crazy.
Yeah.
No shit. Okay. And so, I mean, and even beforehand, like I guess kind of taking it back a little bit. When you
Yeah.
played this first show, what was that something that like comes to mind? Did you have anything like, were you nervous about it? Were you excited? What kind of went into that whole thing, and did the show go okay?
Oh, my first show ever?
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, I was probably like really I still get nervous for shows, dude.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
okay.
probably like really nervous. I think it went okay. Like, yeah, probably like, you know.
Now, like,
Yeah.
where did recording come into play? I think this is always something fun to bring up because I myself hate it. I feel like I
Oh, okay,
love
for sure. I used to
everything
hate
about
it,
being
but
in a
I'm
band.
starting to actually like it now. So,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you feel like the change comes?
Oh man. So, all right. So this is like with Absolute, we actually went to like Bricktop recording, and I think just the
Oh
atmosphere
shit.
there
Okay.
was fucking just like going in and out, and like everybody there was like so fucking dope, and like even the scratch recordings like sounded like they could be done. So then like it was just like, dude, yeah, just like walking into that studio and like seeing like he's like, yeah, just pick out whatever you want to use. I'm like, holy shit, dude. I'm like, all right, so
Damn.
so I mean that experience kind of like, damn, okay, I want to do this again,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I think that makes, that's very much a make or break. I've had certain times that have been a lot more enjoyable than
yeah, for sure.
others. And there's an environment thing. I think it's just for the majority of the time, something like kind of sets in the back of my mind where it's like, this is forever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, okay,
I
the
could
your nerves
have,
start kicking in. Yeah,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I know what
You
you're talking
know,
about.
live
Yeah,
shows is always cool.
uh-huh.
It's not something where I've ever been somebody who has to get pissed drunk
Yeah,
before
yeah,
and just go up and do what. I don't know if this was like the case with you, but actually drinking before a show
uh-huh.
actually throws me off completely.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if that's something that used to help you or not, but
I
I
don't
can
know,
see
dude.
as far as dropping it.
Yeah. Damn, it's
I,
funny that you mentioned that though, because like now that I'm thinking about it, there are like certain things on like some of the CDO stuff that I'm like, fuck, I didn't hit that right, or I could have done this, or like added some fills. Yeah, yeah, no, I know what you mean now. So
you know, I,
yeah,
I I wouldn't like I wouldn't think on it like that. I think there's just different times where I will like in the moment of it. I'm happy with it
uh-huh.
after the fact, but it's
Yeah,
just
for sure.
while you're in the studio,
And there's
it's
kind
just
of
like,
yeah,
what
yeah,
am I
dude.
doing?
Yeah.
No, tell us about like your first time as far as having something physical in hand. Whether it was like a tape or something that was like kind of legit. And was that through CDOs?
uh, yeah, for sure, definitely with them. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
It was sick. Like I'm like, damn, like all this work we put in, like it feels good to hold your own, something that you like took the time and put your energy into.
I
So,
I agree. Did any of your family have vinyl or like a collection or anything like that when you're coming up?
man, my uncle kind of just had like a mix of like vinyl and CDs in the basement. Kind
Oh,
of just
okay.
go through it. There's nothing that like I can remember too much that was down there, but
Oh,
yeah, nothing,
okay.
not any like really collectors. So
Sure. Yeah. I was just gonna make mention of like I remember when I was younger, my grandma had this like big vinyl console, and all of these. It wasn't anything recent, but it was all these records from when like she was coming up. And I always thought that it was so rad, and like that was like a really early introduction to me to where like seeing that form of music and then recording something and having something on like a vinyl, there's just kind of like a surrealism, like holy
Yeah,
shit,
for sure.
this is me playing on this.
Yeah.
Now, where does your first time go as far as traveling out of state? So you get out of Chicago the first time, like where did that come into play?
Mm, well, I have to admit, like the craziest shit we did was like we went to Texas last year with Si Dios.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
that's
yeah,
right.
dude. That was like that was cool. Like just for the fact like we met like our dudes out there from like Soledad, you know, really good band.
So
Um,
sick.
yeah, dude. It was like it was fun, dude. It's like it's always cool to like see the reaction you get from playing outside of your home because you don't know what it's gonna be like, And it's 'cause, like
Absolutely.
it's like could be nerve wracking or it could be just have fun with it though. At the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, completely.
So,
And before even maybe times like this, or maybe at your most comfortable, what goes into right before a show? Like, do you have certain things that kind of keep you centered? Kind of do some stretching, anything like that?
no, I probably should though. I know I drink like I drink a shitload of water and I kind of get like really quiet without wanting to. It's like yeah, I don't know. I just like, kind of like
Okay.
stand all right, and then like it's funny because sometimes like yeah, you like I get nervous and I like get up there and play. I'm like oh shit, it's done, and you kind of wish it lasted a little longer. So
I completely agree. I completely agree. Something that, and I'm gonna kick myself in the ass now because I can't remember what band it was. It was actually at Sweatfest the
yeah,
last time that both of us had played,
uh huh,
and I can't remember the fucking drummer, but I just noticed he's like playing and he's chomping on this wad of gum, just fucking chomping on this thing.
yeah,
I'm like noticeably. So he
yeah,
gets off and like we started talking and shit. And I'm like, dude, what's with the gum, man?
uh
And
huh.
he was like, it's actually something that I picked up from Dave Grohl. It helps so that my mouth doesn't dry out and helps me to like almost kind of take my mind off of the drumming. And I just think about chewing my gum and I'm
What
just
the
up there
fuck,
doing my
dude?
thing. And I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit. And I actually watched like an interview of Dave Grohl and he had
yeah,
mentioned that he does the same thing too. I'm like, motherfucker, man.
damn, dude.
About to have everybody up here chewing gum, fucking playing
Yeah.
drums. So you now we get Ozzy in the mix as far as for CDOs. And did you guys have a couple other vocalists that were in the mix as far as when the kind of transition had happened, or was he the guy that was just right up on top of it?
Man, I mean, well, like we did kind of hold auditions and stuff. We wanted to give everybody a fair chance.
Mm-hmm.
Ozzy just kind of like, yeah, and I'm like, dude, thankful for Ozzy. Like it's been like so, like he's just been a lot of fun, dude. He's a fucking cool ass
Mm-hmm.
dude, you know. And yeah, like I remember in the beginning, like I mean, he kind of just like he was just like a fill-in, like hey, we have these shows coming up, like, and I think like Louis was because him and Louis are really tight. So like, hey,
Okay.
can you fill in for this? And and like the first few shows were like a little rough because like I mean, he even said himself like he was a little shy, like because like I'd be playing but I couldn't hear him, and like we just kept throwing him on these shows, but then also like he was down for everything and like yeah, dude, and like we all just decided like all right, he's gonna be the guy, so
Shit.
yeah,
I
dude.
mean, it can't be better than something that's just natural and just like
Yeah, for
feels
sure,
like
dude.
right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Shit,
yeah.
that's awesome. Was Roll the Dice the first track that he was on?
Yeah, dude, that's the first song, and I wish I like remember more of like writing that song, but like I just remembered, I don't even remember who had the riff. It was my brother or Chris, but like yeah, dude, that's still like one of my favorite fucking songs to
Oh,
play live. It's like it's
oh
just like
man.
really, it's so fucking, it's a fun song. I love the fucking reaction it gets every fucking time we play it. So, but yeah, dude, like, but yeah, I remember one thing like again, like I remember recording. We were recording with our friend Eric, and like even he had told me he's all like during that breakdown, I think I was trying to speed it up again, because that's just what I always fucking automatically do. But he's like, why don't you try slowing it down? And then like, so yeah, that's why like that the breakdown's like very slowed down. And it's like, it worked perfectly. So yeah.
I think that's always, like that's always something too that I have to constitute from like hearing the earlier stuff and then kind of getting into like the Desperate Measures and then kind
Yeah.
of getting into Sacrificio and then you have like this newest track. Is there another? There's one other track too that
We
Ozzy's
have
on,
two new
right?
tracks. Yeah. Two tracks now with
Roll
Ozzy.
Roll the Dice, but what's the other one?
Well, we released that summer promo, and then it
Oh
had the
shit, that's right. That's
yeah,
right.
dude. It has Cold Reality, and then Por Sangre y Tierra. So
So sick.
yeah,
Yes, absolutely. I can't believe I didn't
yeah,
fucking pull that out of my
yeah.
ass. Jesus Christ. So I mean, these tracks being a promo, is this kind of a lead into we have some other stuff coming out?
Yeah,
Obviously,
dude.
if
So
it's
we're
nothing you
actually,
can
dude,
talk
like,
on, don't say.
yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
But
no.
yeah, no, definitely, dude. We're trying to like work on a full lane, trying to get shit going. You know, that's like our next goal
Oh man.
ultimately. Man, like, dude, it's kind of funny. I forgot to mention this earlier. Like, in the beginning of Si Dios, I remember getting together because like the first practice was just me and Chris, obviously, and we pretty much wrote our first song together that one practice, right? And then snowballing when we started getting everybody else started coming in the band and shit. Uh, we just kind of like, dude, we were like fucking just writing so many songs before we had recorded anything, and like I just remember like we kind of scrapped them all, and then we just started all over. Like then that's when we did the demo, and like it's just kind of cool. Like the demo feeds off of La Soliera, but I want it to get harder every time, you know?
Oh shit. Okay. Damn. I mean, was
Yeah.
this like a EP type situation that you guys ended up scrapping?
I think yeah, just it was probably like we scrapped more than like 4 or 5 songs, dude. You know, and then
Shit.
like kind of
Damn.
just yeah. I mean, probably for the best because I was really happy with the demo, how it came out at first, you know. But you know,
Dude,
so
I cannot say anything different, man. I mean, everything that you guys have been coming out with, and it's always scary. I mean, as far as like a band and with like a vocalist change, but uh, once something came out, and there was even I think before recordings, I started hearing live videos, and I
yeah,
remember specifically having it pulled up over my phone and like listening. I'm like, oh, this guy fucking rules. Like, I don't know who he is, but
yeah,
like
yeah,
this fits in and it rips and like there's
yeah.
just kind of like a stage swagger to him too. I'm like,
Yeah, dude, yeah.
I can dig it. Now, it has Ozzy been in other bands? I'm not too familiar as far as his past with music.
No, dude, this is his first band.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh man, that's so sick. I love that. That's
yeah.
awesome. Holy shit. So now you guys, I've seen too that you guys mentioned, or that you mentioned, you guys kind of working on newer stuff. You've been doing some filming, and have you had anything as far as kind of keeping liner notes for like videos of these songs coming together?
Yeah, dude. So like we all have like we'll have like clips of every song, and we've been trying to get together because like we really want to work on this full length, and just want to go back and like okay, this is like I know for sure on my phone there's like full songs already done, like at least 2, but like yeah,
Oh
we just have
man,
to go and revisit everything. So
damn. That is sick. So I was trying to think of this, and I was actually trying to pull up videos, and I can't. At one point, did you guys do a cover? And I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to make this story even fucking more dumb. But were you guys doing
yeah,
a
I mean
cover?
we've covered Curl Mags and Madball for sure.
Madball.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, that was you.
yeah, dude.
Okay, I like was trying to find through YouTube videos. I'm like, maybe I just fucking made this
Yeah,
shit
no,
up, and
I
I
know we did it at the last Sweatfest, so yeah.
fuck yes, so sick, man. All right, so obviously you guys have some big, different things coming, possibly a record, and I'm super psyched for that. Now, how does this come about into like you being involved with Absolute Truth?
Oh, okay, dude. So fucking really good friends with Kyle. I kind of knew like I was always obviously a fan of Decline. They're fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like especially like when I was first getting into straight, I was like, dude, of course, like I was getting like heavy into Decline. Uh, obviously knew Kyle from like shows and shit, and he had like it was him and Chad that actually hit me up, and they're like, hey, they wanted to start a new project. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm down. And it's like funny to talk about because, dude, I was so fucking nervous because, like, dude, they're like really fucking good. And just like, yeah, dude, like, so fucking, we all like went out to eat and went to go practice. Dude, I don't know what happened. My fucking hands could not move. Like,
Oh,
they were like cramped up. I was like, I
oh,
choked so bad, dude. Like,
oh no.
and they joke about it too. Like, like, yeah, dude, it was fucking terrible. But like, yeah, dude, yeah, then like we just kept going. I got like I don't know, I guess it was like me kind of being nervous, like my first time like meeting everybody and shit.
Mhm.
They were like fucking nice ass guys. Yeah, so we just kept like fucking jamming, started getting like fucking songs out, and again, it just kind of snowballed. It's like, you know, and once we were like ready to record, it just I was just fucking I was so happy with the way that project came out. You know, it sounds good. It sounds like really clean and like it's like definitely hard, like especially with like Chad singing, just because like he's a drummer too, you know. So I'm like,
I
and
was
he's a
gonna
fucking
mention
good,
that.
he's a good drummer, dude. So I'm like, fuck, I don't want to fuck this up, but whatever. We'll just, you know, again, we'll just have fun with it, see where it goes, you know. So
We had played with them at whatever space that he has in Chicago there.
yeah, that place, probably at the Galaxy.
Galaxy. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Shit.
dude.
And it was like I just remember before us playing, like him kind of setting his stuff up off to the side, and it was like he would have a rag and he would be polishing fucking this, and
Yeah,
then he
dude.
would have
Yeah.
like a cymbal out and he'd be polishing something else with like a different. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
man, I am
Yeah.
fucking up so bad right now.
Dude, he has like, yeah, I had to get the same kit. Like, I know you were talking about that white kit I have. I still have it.
Uh-huh.
But because of him, I bought like a fucking Gretsch, dude, like a
Oh
Maplewood
man.
fucking Gretsch kit, dude. Dude, it sounds so fucking sick. Like, I played his kit. I couldn't go back. I'm like, dude, I got to get one. So, yeah.
Okay, so now from this initial Target kit that you mentioned, is that
Yeah.
white kit what you got after that?
No, dude. Shit. So I remember I fucking, okay, so it was like, yeah, that Target kit, I fucking used it for like a long time. I beat the shit out of it. And it's like, dude, it was like the worst heads. It was like the Target heads or whatever. It was like fucking plastic and like cymbals were all fucked. I remember I ended up buying a Pacific drum kit off of some friend that I knew.
Okay.
He sold it to me really cheap. He just didn't want to play drums anymore. So I used that for a while. And then, yeah, dude, then after that, it was just kind of like whatever I can get, like that was like affordable or like, you
Hmm.
know, affordable, like Frankenstein kit, whatever, to make it worth
Yeah,
it, you know? So,
yeah.
yeah, dude.
Okay.
So
What was the white kit?
the white kit was a Pacific as well. Yeah, a
Oh,
PDP.
oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Okay. Dude,
yeah.
that thing, man. Every time I saw that, I'm thinking the first time I saw you guys was at Sweatfest, and like,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, I think getting re-familiar because I don't think you ended up using that kit that year, but getting re-familiar and seeing like you playing that kit, I'm like, holy shit, dude, this thing's got white hardware and like
Yeah,
almost
dude,
like a
it's sick, yeah.
OCD's
Yeah.
nightmare, but like the thing is
Dude, I actually
so
got that kit,
awesome.
like, I got that kit for like really cheap. Fucking found it on like online. Someone sold it for me for like $200 with like snare drum, cymbals, and everything, dude. So yeah, I came up on that
Damn.
shit for sure. So
I gotta say too, anybody that's watching that's like drummer, wise, I was at work the other day and completely missed out. There was somebody like 10 miles from me selling a fucking Yamaha state, or it was a tour custom for
oh
two
shit,
hundred
yeah,
bucks.
yeah, dude. You could always find a fucking steal on that. You don't have to like buy a brand new one, dude. Yeah.
I hate like Facebook Marketplace, and I feel like
Uh-huh.
I almost hate it sometimes because of shit like that too.
Yeah,
But then
yeah,
I
for sure.
love it.
I mean that's
God
how I
damn.
found my Gretsch kit, dude. I wasn't gonna like goes for like 1,000. I got it for 500. I'm like, fuck it, dude. It's like brand new, so you
Damn.
know. So
No
yeah,
kidding. That's awesome.
yeah.
What Gretsch is it?
It's fuck.
It's
I forget,
sick.
dude. Yeah, it's
That's
fucking
what
yeah.
we know. It
Yeah.
fucking rips.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome. No, I've actually through like the years of like Sweatfest, I normally had my Ludwig kit, the
Dude, I
gold
love that
sparkle
kit.
one,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and but it's a 69.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's just been like a time where I was like, yo, I told Brett, I'm like, hey man, I've got to retire this because like
Yeah, yeah,
I
no, for
love
sure, dude.
helping, but
But yeah, yeah,
I
dude.
can't I
Yeah.
can't do it anymore. The poor bastard's gonna break down. I ended up buying a Premiere. I don't know if you have you ever heard of
Yeah, I've
the
heard of those,
brand?
dude. I almost got one. Yeah. How is that?
They it sounds a lot better than what I was thinking it was going to. It's almost
Oh,
like a
okay.
Tama like Rockstar kit,
Dude, yeah, yeah.
which seems pretty durable. And then finally, like when we mic'd it up and everything, I'm like, this
Yeah, I
sounds
mean,
sick. So
dude, if you
good
know how to
enough.
tune,
Shit.
you're straight, dude. You know, so
Beat the shit
I
out of
I
it.
suck.
Sounds all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I'm still learning how to tune. It's like fuck, but you know, so
There was something that somebody introduced me to not too long ago, bass drum more particularly, and they were
yeah.
saying that on the attack side, get it completely like it's loose, like it's the ring's gonna come off and
Okay.
or the hoop's gonna come off and all that shit, and you basically go all the way around, kind of in star pattern until the wrinkles of the skin are just out. Don't go any tighter.
Okay.
And then on the the opposite side, the outside of the drum, you get to that point, and then you'll do it one more turn, and it's fat as hell.
Holy shit, I gotta try that, dude. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I
Maybe it
just kind of
worked.
fucked around
Yeah.
and fell into a spot, but I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, damn,
Okay.
this worked.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I appreciate it too. And if you have any little things too, I mean, as far as like drum wise, send them my way. Cause
Yeah, dude.
I,
When I get them, I'll let you know because I'm still figuring my shit out. So.
it's an endless battle, man. I mean,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, no,
And
for
then
sure, dude. Yeah.
I think that was another thing too with like you kind of mentioned in like the Frankenstein kits and adding on toms, then that's like another part where it's like, now I have to try and fucking actually make these things like go from highest
Yeah.
to low.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So now you guys in absolute truth, kind of to wrap back here, you guys have had a handful of shows now, right?
Yeah, yeah, dude. Been doing a few here and there. It's been fun and stuff. So.
Sick. Is it all mostly like Chicago way?
Yeah, kind of keeping more over here right now. Just we did like a small run with like it was Si Dios and Absolute. We just like then we did Indiana and Madison for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're still trying to like work out more shows and shit, So
Sick.
yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, it's the biggest thing, for somebody. I know yourself having family and working and doing something with soldering and with
welding, dude. Yeah.
welding and shit.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
I gotta shout out my boy Joe for like helping me get into that shit. It's been fucking fun as hell, dude. Yeah, dude.
Looks awesome. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I've been kind of mentioning like a couple of times. I have a couple of buddies who are like luthiers, and I'm like, hey man, you ever think about like making me like a steel snare drum? Fuck that. I'm not doing it.
Dude, let me get more experience under my belt. I got this and shit. So.
Anytime I see stuff like that, I mean, it's just like the sickest. Did you have experience from that, or was that just something that?
No, dude. I was just like, just trying to find a career, something I fucking liked, and again, Kyle kind of like hooked me up with our friend Joel. And I went over to his like garage. He's a welding instructor. And like, dude, I just fucking fell in love with welding. I'm like, fuck it, dude. So started applying for jobs, and like, luckily, that's what I'm doing now. So, Yeah.
Damn, that's so sick. Yeah, and I mean, not to get like too personal with things, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's just kind of it's something to mention, as far as if people have kids and people have, careers and full-time things that are pulling in different ways and still able to make something work as far as music-wise. It was always like a big inspiration to me for a band like Incendiary, to be the band that they are, but they don't even tour.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
You hardly ever see them on shit, and just being busy with different things and having family. It's kind of like a big salute out of that. But it's sick, and having CDOs and Absolute, man, it's absolutely ripping.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah.
No, do you guys have some shows booked up? Do you guys have what do you have musically coming up?
Musically, I think for both right now, we're just gonna like focus on writing, So yeah, just try to find the time, get some writing, get more recording in, and then like as far as shows, like there's not too much planned for the rest of the year, but there's a few, like a handful of shows for both. So I know, like for Absolute, we're playing with Magnitude in October. So that should be fun, dude.
Shit,
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be so sick. Damn. Now with the Absolute record too, that thing went up and sold out in minutes.
Oh yeah, like I think luckily well they're like really cool like with War Records and stuff, and like they wanted to put it out for us, so yeah they released a few vinyls, and then I don't know they sold out, so it was pretty cool.
I don't know if it was just like in a moment of me kind of being off the grid with things, but all of a sudden I like pop up and I'm like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. First pressing's gone. I'm like, oh well, they're doing like the second pressing. I pull up again and I'm like, these motherfuckers are selling this shit out. Damn, that's like, I mean, and there's something too where I think the product or whatever it is is at hand. It speaks for itself. And I mean, the record coming out, it is absolutely fucking awesome, and it's pure energy. Right in your face. When you guys are writing this, did you get any sort of like demo wise? Was there any kind of like drum track to, you know, what was kind of the initial idea, or was it something that you just had a guitar riffs that you were putting your own stuff down over?
For Absolute, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, dude, it's the same, just like fucking jamming and then just like having ideas and putting them all together, you know. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. Dang. Yeah. Was there? Now you mentioned at Bricktop. Who'd you guys record with?
Oh, shit, dude, I feel bad. I forgot his name.
We'll edit it in, brother. That's it.
Yeah,
We'll edit
yeah,
it. No, it's awesome. I mean, Andy and all the boys over there
yeah,
are
yeah.
absolutely awesome. You know, that place
It's
is sick. What did you end
fucking
up?
amazing, dude. Yeah.
What what'd you end up? Do you remember as far as like snare or anything like? What you ended up
I
using?
remember using a pork pie snare. Um, yeah, it was different for me. I used Sabian cymbals. I always use Zildjian cymbals, but
Oh,
like
okay.
they're good as fuck. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it might have been a Ludwig kit as well. So
Oh, okay. Dang.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, I've never had that experience where going in and kind of having something like that, but I feel like there's kind of like stepping stones for us, you know, musicians and different things where it's, or a milestone, I should
yeah,
say, where it's
yeah,
like,
for sure.
hey, man, choose what you want. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
really? No, I have to mention too, like, I was wondering and I wanted to, you know, kind of dig into like the sound of the drums too, just because it sounded so good that I wondered if it was something to do with any part of it being like an electronic kit. But that's just a mention to the recording of it, man. Like that record sounds so good, and the drums sound so
Dude,
fucking
thank
good.
you. Yeah, that means a lot, dude.
it's
Yeah.
it's insane. Yeah, if at some point, even off the record, you know, like just making a mention of what all it was, because I had a pork pie for a little while.
Yeah.
Um, but now, like, what snare do you use regularly?
Dude, I have a pork pie as well, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
okay. It's just like, yeah, dude, I just can't. The things like it's the pork pie little squealer, and it's like for
Oh,
some
okay.
reason does not stay in tune, dude. So I'm like constantly always like messing with it and shit. But yeah, I've been
I
meaning to like
had
yeah.
no. Go
Oh no no
ahead. Sorry.
no no! I've been meaning to like look for something else, but I mean it's lasted me this long, so like might as well just keep it, you know. So
I had an acrylic. I don't know. I can't remember if it was a little squealer or not, but it was one of the acrylic snare drums that they have, and it was like an orange acrylic,
oh okay.
and it lasted for probably a few years, and then after it's the same thing. I was having issues with tuning fucking
Yeah
constantly,
yeah yeah
man.
for sure, dude. Yeah.
So I shout out again, unfortunately, to Facebook Marketplace, but
Uh
I found a Ludwig Blackrolite,
okay.
$50,
Dude.
and that thing will snap the shit out of you. I was like,
Good, dude.
whoa, I guess I'm
Yeah.
going to use this from now on, like
Uh-huh.
nothing else.
Yeah.
So when you go to set up your drums, I guess, you know, kind of just like from a personal interest, what do you kind of, you know, what do you have as far as your feel out for setting your things up? Do you like your cymbals higher? Do you have, you know, kind of different things as far as where, you know, heavier cymbals are? How does that go for you?
All right, so yeah, that's funny because actually, like again, like Chad kind of like helped me kind of step up my game with that shit.
Okay.
Cause like I was fucking always breaking sticks, or I was always finding too, like I was never fucking doing like rim shots, and I was like, it wasn't sounding fucking like powerful when I was hitting the snare. Cause like towards the end of the set, I'm fucking tired, dude. So
Hmm.
like, yeah, I've kind of learned to like fucking lower my cymbals a little bit, so I'm not fucking cracking all the sticks and like breaking cymbals constantly. Fucking yeah, like kind of tilt the fucking snare drum, you know, just like get a good fucking full sound out of it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So, dude, I was gonna
Okay.
ask you, what kind of cymbals are you using now?
I have Sabian. Let's see. I've got an AA Crash. I'm trying to think of all my shit that's in there. Honestly, dude, like I have had this B8 ride
Holy
forever.
shit,
That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the cheapest like
Yeah,
introductory
that's like
thing
the entry
basically.
level. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
And I have used that thing forever.
that's fucking sick though, dude. Yeah.
But and then the Crash, I have a Zildjian A custom,
Dude, those are
and then my
fucking
hi-hats.
okay. Those are crazy. Like they crack so fast, but they sound so fucking
I
good.
know. That's
Yeah.
what I'm kind of worried about because I'm starting to find like already like some
Yeah,
wear
yeah,
on it.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but that was like another like like cheaper like marketplace thing that I found, and I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
for sure.
eventually if I can get another bigger one, I feel like that would be kind of like
Yeah.
the ideal
It,
crash
dude, it
sound.
sucks, but like I feel like the cymbals are the one thing. It's like fuck it, it's worth dropping the money on them and shit, you know. So
It's tough, man. Like,
yeah,
just as far as having like a family and like buying diapers or fucking,
yeah,
even school clothes or something, it's like if you think of $500 for a piece of metal
yeah,
that
dude.
you bring home and it's one thing and you're like,
Yeah, yeah,
holy shit.
dude. I know that song. Like I just like bought a fucking I wanted to try those the Peisty Road series because like
Oh man.
I heard those are really good. Like it's good, you know, and I heard they last a minute, so I'm like shit, dude.
Industrial.
Yeah, yeah, dude. It's fucking it's sick, and I kind of want to like I want to get the rest. So I'm like, all right, let me just stick with this one. I was like, yeah, dude.
They've got, did you end up getting one?
Yeah, I got one, dude. Yeah, yeah. I got
What?
like a shit. I think it's like the 20-inch thin crash. So
Oh
yeah, dude.
shit.
Yeah, dude. It's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know if you fuck around with like Sweetwater a whole lot. I know that they have like a whole like set on there. I don't know how much it is, but
Yeah, yeah. I know like those are kind of on like back ordered and shit. So
oh, are they?
yeah. Hmm.
Rotten motherfuckers, man. I get emails all the time from like that or like a Black Beauty snare that I've been looking at forever.
Oh
But
yeah,
again,
yeah, dude.
it's like
Yeah,
$900 for one piece of like something that you have 45 fucking pieces for. It's
yeah,
just like,
yeah,
man,
for sure.
seems like a kind of a bad move. Now, even something with bass drum, for instance. So I
Mhm.
don't know if this is anything that you ever even think about, but like when you're going to set up and you have, say like the bass drum is over here and you have your snare kind of right in between the legs and everything, and your cymbals wise, do you cant your bass drum off, or is it majority of the time do you have it straight away?
Keep it straight, dude. Yeah, 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 straight. If
What's
it's
weird is
like
like,
drifting, sometimes like you know when like you're beating the shit out of the bass drum and you're like just fucking drifts away. That's the only
uh,
time like you know. But no, usually I keep it like straight and shit. So
I never thought about it until I looked closer
uh-huh.
at, of all people, Travis Barker. And just
Yeah,
looking at the weird setup, because like he's always doing the crossover
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
goofy
for sure.
shit. And obviously like that's not what I'm going to be doing, or I'm not
Uh
going to be in punk, or I don't want to be seen even doing that
huh.
shit. But I've always wondered like what it is about his setup to where he has things and how he has it. And I started like kind of looking at like overhead like aerial views at how he has different things set up, and like the tom is right in front of his snare, right in front of him, but his bass drum is like canted to the right. And it's
Okay.
weird as fuck to me. And
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
tried
for
doing
sure.
it. I'm like, this sucks. I don't know if he
Yeah.
just had years where the motherfucker was like drifting off from him and he's used to it now. Like, I don't know. Jesus. What pedals do you use?
So I have a fucking. It's a sick ass pedal, dude. It's an Iron Cobra. Fucking. It's like fucking gold pedal. It's sick as fuck. Yeah. It's Yeah. It's like
Oh,
my
really?
first. Yeah, yeah, dude. I just got it like fucking like last year. It's been holding up so well. It's like it's a speed pedal, so like it fucking feels like butter, dude.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
damn. That's rad. I just recently actually got Speed Cobras.
Oh yeah, they're sick, right?
They're very sick.
Yeah.
I had DW 5000s for a little
I see
while, and
everybody using those, dude. Yeah.
I don't think it's something. It's more for like if you're playing like a rock or something a little bit more aggressive. But I feel like when it gets into metal or it gets into like a constant, kind of something where you're having to do like double bass,
Yeah, yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
I don't feel like it's a go-to. And I think what it is it's more of like a grip tapey pedal.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps you or concerns you or not, but with like the Speed Cobras, with it
Uh-huh.
having that like all smooth pedal, seems to help.
Yeah, it helps a lot, dude. Yeah. Yeah,
Stupid
because
shit
like
that
for me,
don't
like
think of
I
initially.
usually just like I'll randomly throw in like those double pedal parts and shit. You know, I don't
Hmm.
like I don't really do it that consistently. It's like random throughout songs.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Now, do you have different things that kind of you play along with, or different, kind of when you're going into writing faster stuff or more double bass? Do you have certain drummers or records that you like playing with, even recently?
fuck, that's a good one. No, man, I think like just playing shows with like friends and shit. You know, and again, I want to shout out like fucking Rob from Soledad and then the
Mm.
drummer from No Cure. They're just like fucking heavy
Oh
hitters,
man.
dude. Yeah, dude. It's like they're fucking sick. I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, it's always hard. Like I always feel like when I try to get inspired, I don't want to rip any. Like that's the last thing you want to do is like fucking rip anybody off and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, so yeah, dude. I don't know. I don't know. I just always feel like it's always like in the moment of shit, you know. Like if I hear like a heavy ass riff, and get inspired from that and try to. I'm not that much of a technical drummer, honestly. So
Same
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah, I try. Yeah, dude, for sure. It's like, no, I'm not.
There's certainly times though where I'm like, and I think what I mean more so is like for instance, so when this band that I'm in right now, the Tunnel of Love,
Yeah.
kind of comes together and we start talking about doing more, like blast beats and doing more of like a kind of like a Harm's Way type,
Okay.
type deal or whatnot, and getting a little bit faster with like, just single pedal or whatnot. That was kind of what I meant more or
Oh,
less,
okay.
kind of practicing along with those things and, kind of building up stamina.
Oh no, dude. I wish I practiced more, like for sure, because I feel like it definitely would help me with like, the stamina of the double pedal. Because dude,
Mm-hmm.
there's like sometimes like during shows I'm too beat, I won't do the double pedal part because I'm just like so dead. But yeah, no, definitely would help to build up my stamina on that shit, dude. Yeah. And like, dude, I don't know if it's like just me or like, do you ever do that shit too? Like at the beginning, like of a set, like you fucking give it like all your energy, and then you like kind of crash out at the end. Like I do
Brother,
that shit way too much, dude.
every time.
Yeah, dude. Like, fuck, shouldn't have gone that route. So
They're like, uh, what comes to mind, I guess, is like the most recent with Tunnel of Love, and like for the longest time when we were doing shows, we had this kind of like beat down intro where it was
yeah,
just kind of like a jungle beat, floor tom
okay.
snare, and the end of that part would come, and I would realize right there, I'm like, I fucked up. I
Dude,
already know
I
it.
know exactly what you mean.
Like, I don't. I think it's something too that like I want to start looking into, within interviews or within just kind of just looking at or watching interviews or whatnot or listening to drummers, but there's like something about kind of pacing yourself and like not blowing the load. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I don't know, like it's just the excitement or it's just what it is. I mean, there's definitely certain times where like, because you were kind of mentioning strength or sound on the snare drum, and recently I've been turning around my snare side stick to where I'm
Okay.
holding onto the tip of it and I hit the drum with like the handle of it,
Okay. Yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
kind of produces a little
Yeah,
bit
like a
more.
louder fucking yeah. That makes sense, dude.
Yeah, and that helps a little bit because then it
Yeah,
it almost feels like awkward and it almost feels like it's a little bit heavier, and so I'm not like trying to just slap the shit out of it,
yeah.
but still happens, for sure. What stick sizes do you use?
Shit. I mean, if I had a preference, I think it was like, I is like the 5A. Is that the smaller size?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, dude. I don't know why I always like prefer this like skinnier six, even though like they fucking break quick as fuck. But I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. How
No,
about you?
I
Like,
agree. That's right around like the sweet spot, dude.
yeah,
If I
right.
could do maybe like there's the 7As, which
Uh huh.
those are a little bit longer.
Oh, okay.
I don't think
Oh
they're
shit,
like
I didn't know that.
anything
Yeah.
weight, but those are a little bit longer, and I think the ones I have are Pro Mark,
Oh,
and
okay.
they
Those are fucking good, dude.
just for whatever reason are a
Yeah.
little bit, or maybe the Pro Mark or Big First, I can't fucking remember, but they just feel like they're a little bit longer, and I think that kind of helps as far
Okay.
as you kind of mentioning reach, and for a long time, like I would have like my cymbals a little
Really?
bit
Like fucking that.
higher.
Yeah.
So you learn to kind of lower these things
Yeah,
and
dude.
cant
Yeah,
drums a
for
little
sure.
bit differently,
It's
and
like, oh, that's why I was so fucking tired because I'm like reaching up here for my fucking reach cymbals. Yeah.
oh shit, no, it's sick, man. Like I love opportunities like this, even for like younger kids to be able to look into drumming and having the interest and kind of hearing some of this stuff, and like you don't have to start out with awesome shit. Like I started out
No,
with a
dude. Yeah.
very like entry level kit that probably shouldn't have even you worked at times,
Yeah.
but it did.
Yeah, for sure,
so
dude.
so
Yeah.
it's sick, man. I'm absolutely looking forward to what you guys in CDOs have going. Uh, Absolute truth. I am excited for being able to like play a show. We're gonna have to like try
Yeah,
and book
dude.
something up
Yeah.
because
Yeah. I gotta link up
I gotta
for
see
sure.
Got to see you
Yeah.
guys play. Dude, this has been absolutely sick, Ricardo. Anything last as far as where to find the band's pages and everything like that? Give a shout out for the groups.
Uh, no, man, just start fucking our Instagram. Absolute Truth Hardcore, and then I think it's CTO's SDQ on Instagram. So
So
yeah,
sick.
dude. No, but yeah, dude. Thanks for having me on. I know, like, yeah, like you said earlier, we've been trying to get this going like for a year now. So I'm glad we finally got it
Yeah.
done. So
I'm gonna have to get more of the boys on too, and
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
and
for
you
sure, dude.
know,
Always done.
I was mentioning at one point too, as far as you guys getting out like a record or something, like pulling something together. So let me know if something comes to mind, and if there's anything I can do as far as helping out, or maybe doing like little documenting on this thing coming together and whatnot. I would fucking love to, man. I'm a huge fan of the
Dude,
band.
dude, thank you so much.
Totally. Absolutely. All right. Anybody that tuned in a little bit late, this will be on YouTube. I've got these on Spotify now for those who are fucking bugging about podcasts. I personally don't give a shit about, but no, it's cool. It's cool. Anybody that is willing to listen and maybe chimed in a little bit late, you can find those there within probably like the next month or so. I'll have them up. I'll have them advertised and everything on here. So yeah, man. Thank you so much for taking the time tonight. This is
No,
awesome, man.
thank you, dude. Thanks
All
for having
right.
me on. All
Take
right, take care,
care,
man.
buddy. Have a good
All right,
night. See ya.
that's it.
He's a lo-fi horror guy. Yeah, he's kind of a guy, but he is so lo-fi, lo-fi, a horror guy. Yeah. Lo-fi horror guy has been recorded in front of a live studio audience.